Welcome back to our discussion of the book, The Ministry of the Unveiled Face. My name is Janet Fichter. I'm the author of the book. And this short video will be a lead-in to your discussion of chapter 3, which is entitled, The Fragrance of the Presence of Christ. I'm going to start by just reading the anchor verse for this chapter. It's one of my favorite verses, 2 Corinthians 2:15. For we are the aroma of Christ to God among those who are being saved and among those who are perishing. The fragrance of Christ, the presence of Christ, is in us. And when we are interacting, when we are in relationship with other people, loved ones, friends, neighbors, co-workers, community members, Christ is always in us, working through us. We might be having a bad day, we might be not on our game, or we might be trying very diligently to say or do something to bless the person that we're with. Regardless, the Holy Spirit is there doing the work in and through us. We listen to God's prompting, we respond in obedience, and the Holy Spirit does the work. That is the gist of this chapter. That's the purpose of this chapter. To just assure you that Christ is working in and through you as you are responding to how he leads. It's like walking through a very fragrant flower garden, and the scent, the beautiful scents just kind of catch your eye. We don't always see it, but the presence of Christ flowing through us, ministering to other people, catches their attention. And we trust the work of the Holy Spirit. A couple things to point out. We may not always see that work come to fruition because we don't understand. We're not always clued into how God might be orchestrating those who are being saved and the transformation of their souls as he draws them to him. Sometimes the harvest takes years and years, and more than one sower planting seeds of hope and truth. Sometimes we are blessed to see the transformation, but other times we just sow the seeds in faithfulness to God and leave the person with God. He knows their story from start to finish. But when we are able to be a part of that and be a fragrant aroma of Christ, it is a tremendous honor. The impetus for this story came from an experience I had years ago when I was in a nursing home visitation ministry. I'd been visiting a particular man for quite some time, and he had a stroke and it left him really near death, pretty much unable to interact much at all. I would still go to visit him, but I felt really like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? What do I need to be doing? So I approached one of the elders of my church to kind of get some advice and wondering, should I still keep visiting him? What should I be doing? And her advice to me was transformative. She said, "You must not give up now, Janet. The presence of Christ is in you, which means when you are with him, Christ is also there. Just leave God's work to the Holy Spirit," she said, "and trust that the fragrance of Christ's presence will minister to his needs." Those words became the impetus for me writing this book. They were so transformative for me to think that no matter who I'm with, Christ is with me and in me, and Christ works through me. And Christ prompts me with words to say, with prayers to pray, with acts of, with helping acts or acts of compassion that may be needed in the particular relationship. So that was really the impetus for this particular chapter. Our prayers, our words, our acts of kindness are a sweet-smelling aroma to God, and they are as fragrant as the costly perfume with which Mary anointed Christ's feet. It's a beautiful imagery to think of a sweet smelling garden, and that as we interact with others, that fragrance wafts and catches their attention. That really is it for this particular chapter. Again, I urge you to pray the prayer at the end and to really thoughtfully discuss there's only 3 questions, the reflection questions at the end as well. God bless you. May you walk in the knowledge that the fragrance of Christ is working in and through you, ministering to the needs of all you encounter. And I will see you next time for Chapter 4.